Hello and welcome back to Ticker Insights. I'm your host Mike Loder, and to our latest story for the moment. And with Australian businesses facing the second most severe skills shortage in the developed world, with some 400,000 positions unable to be filled, the Sales Doctor founder Ingrid Maynard says it will take more than Canberra Gabfest to resolve the issue, and that in the interim businesses will need to get creative to fill spots and, as importantly, retain staff. Ingrid joins us now to tell us all about it. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for having me, Mike.
No worries at all. It's always good to get your insight on a space. So what are some of the factors that have led to the current skills shortages that businesses are currently facing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been masked probably for the last few years, really. So I think there's a number of factors. Certainly the pandemic with closed borders hasn't helped. You know, we need migrant workers to come in and supplement the workforce. So we haven't got that. I think the other thing, though, too, is that there's a lot of people, you know, baby boomers who are choosing to retire and chose the last 2 years to take that opportunity and to opt out of the workforce. We also had paid leave during lockdowns as well, which meant that for a lot of people, they reevaluated the way that they had their relationship with work. And so they began to think, well, you know, what's my purpose? How do I want to engage in the workforce going forward? And you know, there was the Great Resignation, of course. I think there was over 600,000 people in May in Australia who changed jobs. I mean, that's extraordinary. And I think finally, the biggest factor is, you know, businesses haven't adjusted. You know, they've been slow to adjust to this new reality that they're facing, and they are realising that, yes, they do need to get creative.
Yeah, absolutely. So how is this skills shortage impacting businesses? And I suppose at what cost are you seeing?
Oh, yeah, the cost is huge, actually. The data that I had a look at said that for every employee now, they're measuring the cost at about $11,500 US. And with 1 in 5 people resigning, that's significant. So you think about an organisation, and for round numbers, you know, 1,000 employees, so 200 of those people resigning, that's a cost of well over $3 million. In the things that are perhaps less able to be measured immediately with numbers are things like lost productivity, the inability to plan, delayed decision making, and delayed investment as well, because you don't have all of the data and you don't know what sort of workforce you've got to support some of the plans that you need to have in place. So I think that all of those things have a factor in, you know, the way that businesses are really facing the future.
So let's talk about how creative are businesses needing to get in order to find and, of course, retain staff as well. Retention remains a very important part of this puzzle, I imagine.
Well, isn't it exciting? I mean, whenever there's challenge, there's opportunity, and you're absolutely right. And the last guest was talking about part-time leaders, and I know for a fact, one of my clients has, you know, utilised the services of somebody in a head of position, and they are a contractor. They're 3 days a week. That person, the feedback that I've had from that person's team is that they're always available when they need them. And in fact, they've learned a lot from this person because of their broad-ranged and broad-based expertise. And perhaps they bring that entrepreneurial mindset to the role too. So I think that there's that. I think that a lot of employers too are using social media more effectively, you know, with job boards and advertising roles and reaching out to their networks in a different way. But moreover, I think a lot of businesses are understanding that in order to build a really strong culture, you know, they need to create their own workforce. They need to create their own talent pool. And so there's a big return to investing in people and building before they need to. The other thing that they're doing too is bridging gaps. So having a look at where the future is in the organisation and upskilling their existing workforce to do that. And like I said before, using contractors to fill some of that much needed, job gap.
Absolutely. And Ingrid, in the interest of time, can you just finish up for me? What are the lessons that businesses and I suppose the nation can learn from this crisis, do you think?
Yeah, I think the number one lesson is, you know, build the well before your water runs dry. We can't afford to wait until there's a crisis to actually know how to handle it. We need to develop our people now. And the final one is to map the future of your organisation, and to have a people that's going to support that, and then developing people as you know that you're going to need that talent pool going forward, and then to be proactive in plugging those gaps.
Absolutely, and well said by you as always, Ingrid. Thank you so much for joining me on the program, highlighting a little bit more about the space, what's going on, and filling us in.
Thanks, Mike.